Well, hello there. One second. Oh. Well, today, my good people, we have an interesting competition that is about to happen. In front of me are two identically spec'd machines from Lenovo and identically priced too, like within $50 difference. So one of these is gonna go to Mike, one of them is gonna go to Eber. They're gonna do their own testing, and we all can see what the experience is like owning one of these machines. Boys, take it away.
We did want to bring up something pretty important too.
Yeah.
Eber?
And that is both of our systems are similarly spec'd. The only difference is that you have desktop class components and I have notebook components.
Now, in terms of pricing, that's something interesting because even though we are partially sponsored by Lenovo and this video is sponsored by Legion, we actually went out and we purchased these ourselves.
We almost spent like $5,000. For
yeah,
both these
$5,000
systems.
Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, his system ended up costing us around $2,200, and the same thing with mine, except mine was about $30 more than his. So considering the pricing and the specs, it's going to be really interesting to see how these two align with one another. But there's something else that I know that you guys are screaming at your screens about right now, because most of you guys build your own PCs. These are, or at least my T730 is for somebody very, very different. It's for people who don't have the time or who aren't really inclined to build their own PCs. It's one of those pre-built systems that comes out of the box, it's ready to go. You just hook it up to a monitor. It's even got a really basic mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. But if you're interested in building your own custom PC, you can check out my how to build a gaming PC video right over here. And if you're interested in buying either of these systems, links will be in the description down below.
So what we really wanted to do here is not only test performance from one system to another, but also from an experiential standpoint. So this is actually going to be one of my first experiences with a pre-built system.
That is true, actually.
It is. You have enough experiences with notebooks, so I think we're gonna split up for the next couple of days, and then we're gonna meet back here with the benchmarks.
Can't wait to compare those numbers. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
So it's been a few days. We have got our fair amount of time testing both systems.
And you can actually see that my girlfriend has sort of been busy with
All the decorations.
pre-holiday decorations.
There's a beautiful Christmas tree on that side. There's just.
And we're at my table again.
I feel like I'm in a Christmas shopping mall. I've got my notebook all ready to go.
And where's the desktop? Well,
It's. Oh wow.
all right.
That is a monster, but you know.
This wins portability.
No, it does not.
So I think what we wanted to do is we wanted to start right away with the performance numbers because neither of us has seen each other's performance numbers. We put them together, offline, and now we're just going to sort of combine them and see what's going on.
Yeah, but I have a question.
There's an irony here, though.
I know. Why do you have your notebook open? Because you're supposed to.
Well, you told me a screen in front of my face wouldn't have been very inviting, and it wouldn't have been good for your composition.
Michael, you're not getting my point. My point is, my notebook comes with a screen, but the desktop does not.
No,
Get it?
It does not.
Get it?
All right, so what are we going to look at here? We're going to
start with general performance.
Yeah, general performance.
Yeah, we're going to start with general performance.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, you want to start with general performance?
Well, I think I'm not surprised because looking at these first numbers, the desktop does win, but not by as much as I thought.
Yeah, because if you look at Cinebench and even both R15 and R20, both in single core and multi-core, I can't tell if there's a major difference. They're only off by
10%?
10%, which is amazing considering how a notebook CPU competes with something like the 9700K. Now, do keep in mind that I have more threads compared to the 9700K.
Yes, but Cinebench loves threads.
Well, next up, we are talking about drive speeds. So you have the fastest SSD, which I guess...
Again, not by much, by about 5% maybe.
Yeah, and surprisingly, my 1 terabyte hard drive is faster than yours.
What?
Yep.
It is?
Yep, it is faster.
But it's the same, isn't it the same drive?
No, it is not. I do have a 7200 RPM drive. I just happen to find that my write speeds are faster than your read speeds, which is...
Did you happen to look what drive you have?
Not really. Moving on to some real world tests. We're gonna do Blender. And again, guys, I am surprised.
That's crazy. But again, there doesn't really seem to be a big, huge difference, except, well, look at the Premiere.
I was just about to bring that up. Like, my notebook destroyed your desktop.
So does that mean that the IGP was enabled on yours?
Well, yes, it
Okay.
was, but you don't, for some reason on the desktop.
No, from what I could see, there was absolutely no way to enable the IGP, even though it has one integrated. I went through the BIOS, I went through Lenovo Vantage. But okay, so you did battery life, but this.
No, that is a point to bring up.
Oh, no.
I am going to bring up that point. Why? Because if I run out of power, which we have in the last couple of days, just
And that's
'cause-
actually why we didn't have one of our reviews up in time.
yeah. So the fact that I have a battery so that I can still run off of a battery power source is pretty amazing. Whereas on your desktop side, you're out of luck. If power goes out, then the whole system is off. So you lose everything and you never know. All right, so now it's time to take a look at gaming performance. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Wow.
Well, you got demolished, number one.
Taking a look at actual games, you do have the edge, man. Like that 9700K at that sustained high clock speeds and the 2070.
Yeah, you
it's
can
a killer
actually
combo.
see here what kind of sacrifice you're making with the Max-Q design. Even though technically the specifications on that RTX card are the same, it's really the clock speeds that are lower. So there is a serious edge right now for the desktop system, but to give it another leg up, Lenovo allows for overclocking on the K-series chip. So what I ended up doing is there's a little switch inside of Vantage that allows you to, it says overclock the CPU or overclock only during gaming. I just flat out overclock the CPU. My clock speeds actually went up in multi-threaded workloads from around 3.9 gigahertz all the way up to between 4.3 to 4.4 gigahertz. Wow. So, and looking at these results, I'm gonna have to bring these up onto the screen right now and say, look, they did improve from a real-world testing perspective and Cinebench R15, but at the same time, gaming performance didn't improve.
All right, so to conclude the performance between these two systems, I have to be honest, I'm very impressed with how far the notebook can catch up to the desktop PC.
I'm horrified. I wanted this thing to be so far ahead.
I mean, typically when you think about performance, you typically go towards desktop systems because they're generally a lot faster than notebooks. But the fact that you can get that all in a portable package is pretty amazing. So I like that.
I like it too, but I don't, because there's one thing that I wanted to bring up, and that's the silence of this system. The same can't be said about this thing.
Okay, so we've already talked about performance. The desktop is the clear winner, but we did want to go a little bit past that to kind of walk you through what are some of the pros and cons of having a notebook and having a desktop. And I'm going to start with the exterior, the looks. So Mike, what do you think of your desktop PC?
Personally, I love the looks.
I mean, it looks like microwave.
Yeah, but I mean, I think now we're just gonna be talking about really obvious things, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Legion Y740 because it's very minimalistic, not too gamery. I mean, I've got ports at the back that's conveniently accessible, which is nice.
I don't find it's conveniently accessible because you have to reach around the screen.
Okay, first of all, let's be honest. I have a USB Type-C port which supports Thunderbolt 3.
I have no USB Type-C ports. None.
See, that's a major problem.
I think that's one of the things that I saw in mine. It's quantity of USB Type A's over quality of inputs and outputs.
All right, Michael, you ready for this this rapid fire round? I've got speakers, and they sound amazing. This notebook has a dedicated subwoofer, and it's probably one of the best sounding systems on a laptop.
I've got
You don't have speakers.
I've got headphones. I've got headphones, which I had to purchase separately, but
There you go. I also have a display. It's 144 Hz 1080p G-Sync. I mean, it's an all-in-one package. How about you?
I'll give you that.
You need to use your notebook, your notebook to talk about.
But okay,
performance
so
and
I
all
think
that kind of
that
stuff.
also has a lot to do with lifestyle, right? Is I like having a separate PC for a desktop and then a really, really thin and light portable notebook like this X1.
So the next thing that we need to talk about is upgradability. So I'm going to start with the notebook. It's fairly easily accessible. So you've got 2 memory slots, can be upgraded to 32 gigabytes. There's only one M.2 slot that's already populated by the Windows drive. But unfortunately, I really wished if they added an extra M.2 slot because it's a 17-inch laptop in the first place, and there are other notebooks in the market with that configuration. Now, the 2.5-inch hard drive bay can be swapped for an SSD if you want something a little bit faster. And that's about it. You can't upgrade the CPU, you can't upgrade the GPU, but I think that's where
the desktop comes in.
Yeah.
Lenovo allows you to upgrade a couple of the components. Number one is the GPU. The GPU is on a toolless bracket and it can just be pulled out and easily replaced. The hard drives, there's one additional caddy that has a hot swap adapter in it. You just push in another hard drive and you're good to go. The other area that can be upgraded is the memory, but with 32 gigabytes on this one, you probably don't want to do that. The one thing that I was really hoping for is another M.2 slot, because I've already come up to almost the maximum capacity of that NVMe drive. I would have liked another high-speed storage option on the Z370 motherboard.
All right, so I think it's time to conclude this video, and I think we're gonna find a winner, or at least I think we're gonna fight for ourselves to find a winner.
Because I'm happy with this guy.
I'm happy with this guy. We're gonna kick things off with adaptability, and I think that goes to the notebook. Why? Because it's an all-in-one package. You get a display, a really good display, and it comes with a keyboard, speakers. It's an all-inclusive package. You can game comfortably on it. You can edit videos if you do want to do that, and it's portable, which means this comes with you wherever you go.
Provided you're okay hanging around with like 15 pounds on your back.
Well, if you go for the 15-inch version of the Y740, then that can be easily disregarded.
And I think from an adaptability standpoint, I want a gaming desktop and a less expensive but very efficient notebook. And that for me is my definition of adaptability.
Well, next up we have upgradability, and I think that clearly goes to the desktop,
Yeah.
whereas with the notebook it's very limited. Finally, we have performance, or second last, we have performance, and I think the desktop takes the edge once again.
It does, but it's not as much of an edge that I actually thought was going to be there. It's 25% better, but it also shows how powerful those notebooks are becoming.
Now, the last category is value, and I think this clearly has to go to the notebook. Why? Because for the same price as we spec'd out, as I want to refer back to my point earlier, is that it's an all-in-one package. You get a display, you get a keyboard, whereas with the desktop, you're going to have to invest in additional accessories like a display, like a keyboard and a mouse.
Maybe, but at the same time, for me, value also has to do with how quiet this system is. It also has to do with that upgradability factor. So I think what we're coming to a conclusion of here is that it really depends on what your lifestyle is, or not.
Or not, but I mean, I've got to be honest, man, I'm pretty happy with this notebook.
And I'm super happy with this desktop.
So, I don't know, how are we supposed to sell this now?
Flip coin. All right, so let's go. Tails is this guy.
All right.
Heads is yours.
Okay.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Imagine if that would have gone in there.
Yeah.
My boy.
Wow.
So I guess that's it. The desktop wins.
That concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
And let us know which one you would prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Are you trying to like static cling your notebook?
I don't want to. Well, it's.
I'm so hopped up on
Because
this
it's,
coffee right now. Holy.
And that's where the.
The
Sorry, no.
Hold on, I need another shot of caffeine.